All right, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed, is what I usually am told by my parents. And I'm looking at a lot of news articles in recent years, and I think I've just only started to sort of simmer to the point of this complete lack of interest or just complete disdain for the news at the worst when it comes to articles and the way that we not only title things, but also the way that we're so dependent on this clickbait style of headlinism that usually isn't related to the story, that we have gone away from any actual news or from anything that matters. There's also some other points that I'll get into later, but I just read some stuff like this. Maybe it'll be right over my ugly face right now. Maybe it won't. Editor's note. I'm the editor, which is why they suck. They're just, it's really quite terrible to see this kind of thing happen. And I'll kind of explain why in just a second. Okay, I'm just going to scroll down, and I just looked at something because I did a search. So of course this is going to be kind of filtered, but these are top articles from the last 24 hours. One, from TMZ Media, SNL bans live audience for Paul Rudd taping due to COVID-19 outbreak. OK Magazine, same headline, exactly. NPR, which I normally like, even though I realize NPR is just as blatantly biased, even though it's on the left, which is where I'm at, so pointers. New York Times, SNL cancels live audience. I actually think that that's the appropriate headline here. I'll explain the story in just a second. I just got a couple more. Denver Post, SNL ditches audience, limits cast and crew amid Omicron scare. California News Times, SNL bans live audience for Paul Rudd taping due to COVID outbreak. Kansas City, SNL ditches. Mercury News, another one that actually kind of fits what happened. Paul Rudd hosts SNL Sans audience. And then they canceled their music artist, which was Charlie XCX, which I actually really like her. She's got some cool stuff. Hi! Okay, hello, cute interruption. Look, we found her. Everyone say hi to my little girl. Because I can't have children otherwise. I've been trying for years, but I just can't get pregnant. Not sure why. That may or may not be a joke about dudes getting creamsicled. So, we're going to take a look with Spoopy here. And we're just going to take a look at the word ban. And why the word ban in this headline matters. Ban! Officially or legally prohibit. That's more of a law sense. I know, honey. Hi. Oh, we're going to go? Or do you just want to look at the poster? That works too. I'm going to hold your butt and scroll down. Archaic use used to be actually a curse, which is, that works. The meaning of ban is to prohibit specifically by legal means. Okay, so here's why this matters. The word ban, even if you use it out of context, still has the idea, what are you doing, of being used in this instance to describe something that's stopped. Now, you can look at the facts of the matter, and the audience was removed from the situation, or was removed from attendance, or I would say they were withheld from attending the last recording, or the latest recording, and that's for a very simple reason. There's an Omicron scare. Now, you can look at that as one of two ways. If you don't believe in COVID as being an issue, if you're one of the, anti-vaxxers, or if you're not involved in the movement, that's fine. If you are someone that maybe is of that consciousness that it matters and that safety is a priority, or if you do believe in most of what I think is logical, to be honest, then you just think it's a necessary precaution. Here's the problem. Ban implies a much heavier situation, and ban implies a situation wherein it's a negative reasoning. To say that even if it is reactionary, measure is taken as something that is being used to protect people or in some way for the betterment of general or public health or even specific health of individuals. Maybe it's the cast members, maybe it's crew, things like that. Even if you're only putting those people in for consideration, it's not a ban, it's a safety measure. Now, the difference in those two definitions implies multiple levels of one, care or political awareness or social awareness, responsibility, versus ban kind of implies this negative connotation or this horrible occurrence. And this is just one example. This is like a really dumb example. I don't even like SNL anymore. I haven't watched since maybe 2004, and I even then really didn't like it. There's marginal things. Granted, I think all the cast members are talented, just not for me. Why does it matter? Verbiage and these hot words are just thrown around like banned because people understand that banned is this horrible thing. You know, if you're banned from Twitter, you're banned from using X website, then you've done something in breach of the TOS, or you're this villainous character. That's why that word has heavy connotation, at least from the digital speak or from that sort of colloquialism. And then, of course, if something is banned in a governmental sense or from a legal sense, you recognize it as something that's either pejorative or is seen as having some kind of danger to society or without maybe being of merit. So it has these implications that are so strongly detached from what they're actually trying to say in the article that it just makes it worse by using that simple word and that simple phrasing. And the problem is that even if it's not in some kind of malevolent sense of writing, using that at worst means that you're deceptive or you're poorly writing your articles, which I don't think New York Times has editors, authors, any kind of individuals working on them from a staff level or from a writing and a artistic credit level. I almost said autistic credit. Wherein they're bad at their jobs, or at least marginally good at their jobs. They're expected to be the best. When you have this standing tradition, then you kind of go through with the best, or you expect the best quality, because that's just what you are known for. Now, this is multiple newspapers, so you could say, oh yeah, New York Times may be here, and okay, the Oklahoma Press, they might be down here. You can't really compare the two, though. When you're talking about across the board, for the most part, what that leads me to believe, and what it seems to show in general practice, is it's just a very crappy trend. And this isn't just the only example. I can probably put up some more on the screen just as a little sideshow of how horrifying these are. It's really hard for me to imagine a situation where the news matters anymore. And I think it's really hard to find a good point wherein especially entertainment news is actually useful to society. And I'm sure that's already just been said plenty of times before. Now, it's digestible, granted, and there are sections of news articles devoted solely for entertainment. And when that happens, it's not as terrible. It could still be a little bit wasteful, in my opinion, and I don't necessarily like profligacy in any capacity, but I understand. If people like keeping up with the Kardashians, they'll want a recap, or they'll want to know what handbag they're wearing. That's okay. When you allow events that are, I think, more tangible and meaningful to public discourse or to social interactions with people, whether it be about COVID or whether it be about, natural disasters or government hearings or recent bills being proposed, those sorts of things, which have real impacts to people, even if it's under the guise of being related to entertainment, or even if it's under the guise of being related to some tertiary subject, it's ringing hollow at best, and it's deceptively painful at worst. I know a lot of people don't really care, and I think that the people who do care probably don't have an alternative, and I don't have a proposition for what that alternative would be. I just think the news sucks, and that's kind of crappy. Anyway, bye!